Process mapping is essentially a tool that we use for continuous improvement. It's used in a lot of different philosophies such as Six Sigma, and it breaks down a process where we can actually look at the different steps within the process, and we can look at, okay, are there any bottlenecks? How can we improve some of these steps? So today we're going to use a simple process where we'll say we're going to bake a cake, and we're in an Amish kitchen. Most of the work that we're going to be doing today is actually done by the subject matter experts, the SMEs, right? And there's a couple different phases of process mapping. The first one is called current state, all right? And what that is basically saying, okay, right now at this time, this is how it's done step by step by step. Also be aware of, we're going to have to figure out at what level do we want to process map this out. Meaning, do we want to start off and be in the weeds where we say everything about this? I take 5 steps to the left and then 3 to the right. Or do we want to go a little higher to the 5,000, 10,000 foot level where we're saying, okay, well, we know we're walking from this area to this area. We don't need to state that. Okay? Or do we want to go up to the 30,000 foot level where we actually have more assumptions of, okay, we know all this will go on when we say, go print the report. We don't have to say walk to the computer. We don't have to say click on this software, go to reports. Simply saying run the daily report, we know what that means. So figuring out what level we're going to start at and be at, that's something we need to think about. And be aware of when you're going through a process mapping, a lot of times when you start and you get into it, you may want to adjust it. Because you may start it and be like, you know what, we're not low enough. We need to get in a little more detail, or perhaps, you know what, we're getting in too much detail. Let's come up a little bit more, and so that we can have a broader outlook on it. Supervisors and managers, their main responsibility first is to allow the subject matter experts to be able to have the time to participate in this process. They typically do not participate in the process mapping of the current state. However, they are involved in stage 2, which is future state. Okay? So what you want to do is, after you get the current state done, and we'll get into this a little later on in the workshop here. A little later in the process, after you have the current state mapped out, that's normally when you come back together with the manager or supervisor, and you figure out, okay, what steps can we improve on? How do we perhaps fix something that's taking too much time? Okay? And quick tip, the reason why you typically don't have a manager or supervisor in with the process mapping of the current state is often staff will not be as forthcoming when they're describing to you exactly what they do. And so if they know they're supposed to do this, but really they do this, and they have their boss sitting right next to them, they're going to tell you what they know their boss wants to hear. So during the current state process mapping, no supervisors, no managers. And often you'll let the supervisor or manager know this ahead of time and just let them know, please don't be at the meetings when we do the process mapping for the current state. I need everyone to feel comfortable to speak freely. And often they'll say, they know they can speak freely in front of me. No, they don't. So managers, supervisors, they should not be present when current state mapping.